Hello, everybody. This is your man, Jason F. Smith, creator of the Shades of Intimacy and Modern Day Warrior Intensives, found at shadesofintimacy.com. Welcome to today's daily download, where the topic is how to last longer. So sit back, relax, and welcome to the daily download. Okay, so the number one question I get as a man teaching couples in intimacy from both men and women is, how can I last longer if you're a man, or how can my man last longer if you're a woman? It's the number one question. When you bring it up, it gets the most excitement because there's a lot of people who won't ask the question because they don't want to admit it. But it's actually true. In America, probably across the entire world, but this is where we have most of the stats here in Europe, men ejaculate on average between 2 and 5 minutes. And unfortunately, for most women's pleasure, that is not nearly long enough. So most men want to last longer so they can give their woman more pleasure, and most women want their men to last longer so they can receive more pleasure. So there's a lot out there about this. And before I tell you a trick, like a ninja trick here, I'm going to tell you a funny story. As I was pitching the podcast to one of my mentors, he leaned forward and he said, so which way are you going with your sexual intimacy podcast? Is it lasting longer or making your dick bigger? That just made me laugh, and I wanted to share that with you. I had to blink and go, no, this is not about making your dick bigger. And it's not even really about lasting longer. It's about the deeper energies of communion with your queen. And that goes deep and on many, many levels. But let's face it. Let's get honest. Let's get super fucking honest, right? If you're a man and you have a hair trigger ejaculation response, it can be fucking painful. You know your woman's disappointed. It can be embarrassing. It can be something that honestly can be torturous. I know men who have gotten really spun up about this. Like, it becomes a thing and it becomes a barrier between them and connection with their wife, their queen. It can be a real painful thing. And so that is not to be underestimated as we talk about this. And even if we joke and be light about it, the reason to be light about it is because it's fixable. It's all workable. Everything is workable. And so it's light, but we also take it very seriously because these are people's lives. I mean, nothing can be more embarrassing for a guy than to be with a woman he loves and he ejaculates on the spot or very quickly. And she may be very nice, because women are really good liars here. A lot of them are. And I've seen it. I've talked to them. I've worked with them. They're like, oh, it's okay. It's very understanding, heart connection, sympathy. But that's almost the last thing men need at that time, is that sympathy. It makes them feel 2 inches tall, just little bitty and tiny and shitty and hurting. So the Shades of Intimacy belief system, married up with the warrior way, is the way to have it all in relationship, to have a relationship on fire. But if you are having hair trigger problems, then that is something you do need to take seriously and do want to work with. And the good news is it's all workable. It's all workable. So this is a short podcast. We're not going to get into a long discussion, but we're going to talk about the number one misconception and the number one thing you do want to practice that will help. So the number one misconception is that if you breathe deeper, it will help you control it. But I have found and have tested with hundreds of men that this does not always work. And in fact, it just builds up more energy deeper in your body, and it's harder to control. So, if you're working on breathing techniques, and I give you lots of breathing techniques and meditation techniques, it's all part of the Warrior's Way and the Shades of Intimacy way, that's not necessarily the ninja trick. The ninja trick is to relax. It's all about relaxation. It's all about relaxation. And the easiest way to relax in this zone is to become aware of your awareness. To become aware of your awareness. So there's a side of you that is aware, that is looking out right now or listening right now. There's a side of you that is listening, it's aware. Step back from that and become aware of the awareness. It's usually pretty easy to do, and as soon as you do it, you can feel it. Because what happens is you feel completely disconnected with the world. It's a step back, and you'll immediately feel a disconnection. And if you are with your woman at that moment when you do this, and women can do it too, by the way, they'll feel you just check out. It's not distraction. Let me be clear. It's not distraction. You are not thinking of something else. Furiously, thinking of your favorite TV show or a comic book or putting together your grocery list, anything to distract you from ejaculating, right? That's not what this is. It's literally becoming aware of awareness and a step back. And when you do it, and you can practice it right now. So you look out your eyes and see something, focus on something. I'm looking at a picture on a wall. I see the picture, and that's me looking at the picture. And now I step back. I feel back to the piece of me that is seeing the picture, the awareness of the awareness. And it's immediate. It's a disconnection. You'll feel it. Fix your eyes on something and then back out of it and become aware of the awareness. Aware that something is aware of that picture. Men, it's almost impossible to maintain an erection in that state. In fact, it's so hard. It's like when you do it, your woman will immediately feel as if you just left. Not that you're distracted, but that you left. And so it can be energetically hurtful to her. But if you do it, you can feel it. You can try this with practice. And you could tell your woman, listen, look, this is what I'm doing. You're going to feel me pull back, and you're going to wonder what the hell's going on. So say, hey, I'm practicing. And then you'll rise up close to to the brink of ejaculation, and then just practice coming back, and you'll feel it. It will immediately, noticeable effect will happen. If you do it right, you will not ejaculate. And if you stay in that zone long enough, you'll lose your erection. And so it's this tug and pull thing. So you're pulling back, and then you allow your attention to come back and focus, usually on something that turns you on, usually your woman right in front of you. And then You'll feel it build, and then you come back. And the practice is to add the breath with it and your heart connection. So you feel her heart and your heart, even as you're pulling back. So you have to be at two places at once. This is advanced technology. I'm having some fun explaining it to you, but the simple tug and pull, well, that's the same thing, tug and pull, push and pull. You will feel into her, like focus down, and then pull back with your awareness, then pull in, pull back. And when you pull back, you will not ejaculate. You'll feel the urge just completely go away. And if you stay away long enough, she'll get hurt and you will go limp. The man will go limp. So it's this back and forth. And as you refine it later, it won't be so jarring. And once you can gain this ninja trick, then you'll relax. Then you go, wow, I can stop this anytime I want. And that gives you relaxation. Then the mind fuck that's going on in your head, in all men's heads, mine including, when you ejaculate too early, the mind fuck that happens, like disappointed my woman, I feel embarrassed, I feel it's painful, that will start to subside. And so the noise and stories and bullshit you're telling yourself about, your failure in your head will subside, leaving room for you to enhance your practice and focus more on opening your woman's heart and her body and her soul to the most divine levels of pleasure and intimacy and connection that either of you have ever felt. So, you know what your assignment is. You got a call to action, right? You got to go and try this. Now, first of all, you don't have to try this in sex. One, you just try it any day, anytime. Just look at something, feel the intensity of the object, feel it completely, and you can practice this. A good place to practice is on TV, because TV is a bright, shiny object. So you're watching a show and you're in it, right? Like you might be in your woman's eyes or in your woman's body, and then practice becoming aware that you're aware of it, and you will feel a step back. And what happens on the TV, if you do it right, will suddenly not matter anymore. It will diminish in its light. You will still see the light, but your emotional connection to it won't be there, because your focus will be on your awareness of it instead of it. So you practice with the TV, then you can practice while masturbating, solo masturbation. So in your mind, you'll have to think of something to turn you on. Think of your woman. Usually it's tits or ass, but there's all sorts of things you can think about. Each man has a different gateway usually to this. And then practice coming back while you're masturbating. Focus back, and then you can do it with your woman. Be sure to tell her what you're doing, because she's going to wonder what the fuck's going on. You're going to be like, where the fuck did you go? Oh, you're back. Oh, where the fuck did you go? Oh, you're back. What the fuck? That's going to very much hurt 99.9% of the women on the planet. So you got to be really careful with that. And you just explain it. Explain what you're doing so that she understands and she can be with you. And if the woman does it right, when you pull back, she will up the energy to entice you to come back into her. And that's where it becomes a game. Okay, ninja trick revealed. You've got your assignment. You've got your practice. This is Jason F. Smith signing out.